Hey YouTube, how's it going? I'm back and I wanted to do another 6-scale samurai figure review. Now, this was kind of an enigma to me and I could not find a lot of information on it. This is DiD's, or Dragon and Dream's, 6-scale, I suppose, Oda Nobunaga figure. Now, I've never owned a Dragon 6-scale figure before. There's a figure coming out. It's available for pre-order on BBTS right now from Star Toys, which looks exactly like this figure. So I don't know if DiD changed their name to Star Toys and that's a re-release, or if that's what the American release is going to be in this international version they release under D&D or DiD. I have no idea. But anyways, I was curious about it. There were no videos up on it that I could find, so I thought I would make one and get the word out. So anyways, this figure, I'm going to preface this all by saying the outfit on it is some of the most delicate and coolest work that I've seen in a long time. Here, I'm going to take his vest off. I'm going to take pieces off little by little. So this headdress here, as you can see, comes off very easily. I'm not sure if there's a better way to mount it, but there's just these little prongs on the back there. And I just kind of stick them into the stitching of the bill of the hat, and that's that. This whole figure kind of freaks me out a little bit because it's just very, very delicate, and it feels like more of a doll. Honestly, it's something that's obviously made to be looked at and not touched as much. But I didn't really know that prior to checking it out. So I'm going to make this video to give some of my thoughts on it. I am deep in the throes currently. Let's just take that whole hat off, shall we? Yeah. Deep in the throes of Ghost of Tsushima. So samurais are cool right now. And I have a myriad amount of European or Western and styled fantasy, historically accurate, historical fantasy type figures, but not a whole lot of Eastern ones. So, wanted to get a couple of those. And this guy came in my sights. I'm just going to pop that head off to take that hat off. Can I even pop that head off? No idea. It comes with it comes with an interchangeable head. Okay, which I have not even tried to put on yet because, well, it's tricky because there are pieces to this guy. He feels very sturdy, very well made. I'm not worried about it breaking with handling, but I guess it comes down to the outfit just being so finicky. But let's get in here for a real quick look. So all of the segments in the armor have been stitched through and tied together just like real historical samurai armor would have been from a certain period. Obviously, they didn't do that forever. And I'm not sure if this armor is even remotely accurate to anything Oda Nobunaga would have had, but this stitching down here, this is something I'm more used to because I see it with Kumodel. They have the metal plates woven through with the fabric, but I'm not used to seeing it go through the entirety of the chest and torso armor. That's new to me. Just padding and layers upon layers of fabric being used here. It's wrapped around down into the feet of individual toes that have been wrapped up with this twine foot wrap stuff, the Japanese style of sandals. This whole thing, it's definitely a work of art, but it's just hard to move with and play with. So after this review, it's definitely one of those figures that I'm going to get into a stance or pose or whatever and leave it untouched. I guess not too much unlike my Coup model ones, but I feel like this guy's going to fall apart or just get raggeded up a lot quicker than those will. So he doesn't come with any interchangeable hands. What you see is what you get. That's wrapped around the thumb there to keep that in place. You know, double jointed. It's got all the articulation you could ever want. That articulation, though, is hindered minimally by the outfit. But I feel like if I move it around too much, I'm going to undo a string somewhere and not know how to put it back together. Perhaps that's my greatest fear. I wouldn't be able to put this back together. I struggled so much earlier with a Coup model Takeda Shingen. So this, without any sort of instructions to even go off of, if I muss this up, then that's probably that. Ties here, and you can adjust all of this if you want the armor to sit differently. Not a bad figure. Let's look at that head sculpt, because this wild mane of hair is just crazy. I don't know if this is supposed to be based on an actor or how Oda Nobunaga looked in some sort of representation, but that wild mane of hair is just wacky. It's fine when the helmet's on, but if I were going to display him without that helmet, I would have to figure something out, because that's absurd. The helmet carries the same style of architecture as the rest of the figure. There's this thing up here, top of the head. Not sure if something's supposed to go in there or not. Maybe I missed something in the box. There's leather padding underneath, those crazy strings that you gotta fiddle around with in order to get it to sit right. It's the kind of piece that you just spend hours trying to put together and make look right, unless you're a genius or you know exactly what to do, but I'm not either, so I've just been struggling. He does come with this nice samurai vest with some real nice fur and stitch work back there with this butterfly looking pattern. I think that's supposed to be some sort of butterfly. I'm not entirely sure. It looks really good, the vest, and there is, maybe I can get it to show up on camera here. Yeah, there's some fine patterning going all throughout it. The outfit work is great. But like I said, there's just something about it that's hard to work with. The sword is a full die-cast metal. Decent patterning on the blade. And the handle to the katana is wrapped entirely, as opposed to that just being molded plastic, which it usually is. So that looks great. It fits into his hand just fine. Maybe if I try to pull this blue thing up closer to the elbow, I don't know. Really don't know what I'm doing here. I'm in very unfamiliar territory, as this is my first DiD figure, and you can get two hands on it. Leg articulation, much more hindered by the outfit. Without too much stress, I can get a kick up to here, which is a little over 45 degrees. Knees are double jointed. Those work just fine. These big poofy shin guards, no idea what to do with those, but they look great. Again, there's some fine stitching going through there. Cool patterning It's a regal looking figure. I know you hear me say that a lot. But I guess Nobunaga, after doing so much unifying of Japan, was probably a regal fella. The ankles don't rock. They don't pivot back and forth. But they do go front and back. And there is toe articulation. And quite a bit of it. Not that I would ever... I don't know. I'm just so used to not using that. So I can't see it really coming into play with any poses anytime soon. But it's cool that it's offered. Turn the head like that. Right there. And yes, like I said, he does come with an alternate head. However, I'm not sure, and there's no instructions telling me how to pop that head off, this current head, and put the alternate one on. The other head is in the box. Sadly, I'm not going to be able to show it to you today. But it's pretty much this exact head sculpt, but the mouth is a little more open and he's snarling and angry. And that's about that. The paintwork on the figure, the sculpt itself is pretty decent. Let me get a feel for it. Yeah, it's sculpted. It's some type of resin. The paint's okay. You know, it's not Hot Toys. It's not even Ace Muse. It's, excuse me. It is. It looks fine. And for a character who I'm going to have displayed wearing the helmet most of the time, it's really no biggie. But that crazy Vegeta Widow's Peak, and that fluffy lion's made of hair, I just kind of don't know what's going on here. So, yeah, maybe you are more experienced with DiD figures than I am. If that is the case, then maybe you could teach me a thing or two about them. But my thoughts on it are, in summary, it's much more of a doll than a high-end collectible action figure. Now, it does definitely still feel like a very high-end collectible doll with, like I said, a very beautiful and intricate outfit. But it's just not what I'm used to. Now, will he still go on display next to my other samurai figures? Absolutely. And will he still look cool there? He certainly will. But will I be taking him out of the cabinet much for photography? Probably not. But it's a cool piece. The armor all looks good. There's great detailing all throughout. And it's functional. It is a functional figure. I guess I just don't know quite how to function it how I want to yet. But I'll learn, I'm sure. Or it'll just sit there looking cool on display until I sell it or don't. But that's all I got for you guys. This has been the DiD, or Dragon in Dreams, Oda Nobunaga 6 scale international version figure. And you can find this figure under Star Toys for whatever reason at Big Bad Toy Store on pre-order, and I have no idea why. Once again, this same exact looking figure is being released by Star Toys at the US retailer, but was previously released under DiD. I don't know what's going on there, but that's what it is. It's a cool little samurai figure, and it's not nearly as expensive as some of Ku Model's offerings. In my opinion, it's not really the same level of quality either, but I mean, it's still up there and still worth a gander if you're curious. That's all I got. All right, guys, stay happy, stay healthy, and keep on collecting. Bye-bye.